let's continue studying the cow card. Again, cow card says is cow. The sounds are ow. OW says ow. OU says ow. Say ow. Good. Good job. So, I wanted to play a song that is going to help you practice learning the ow sound for the cow card, spelled OWOU. And let me enlarge the screen and press play.
The sound of ow. Ow, ow. How can we say this sound? Ow, ow. How can you tell me? Ow, ow. How can we say this sound? Ow, ow. How can you tell me now? Ow, loud, loud. Ouse, house, house. Ouse, mouse, mouse. Out, out, out. Ow, ow. How can we say this sound? Ow, ow. How can you tell me? Ow, ow. How can we say this sound? Ow, ow. How can you tell me now? Ow, town, town. Ow, down, down. Ow, owl, owl. Ow, cow, cow. Ow, ow. How can we say this sound? Ow, ow. How can you tell me? Ow, ow. How can we say this sound? Ow, ow. How can you tell me now? How can you tell me now? How can you tell me now? Now, now, now. Loud, house, mouse, out, town, down, owl, cow.
Okay, awesome. That's a fun song. I like that. Okay, so let's review our spelling words from last time. Okay, so I want you, like I say, read it with your eyes. If you need to blend the words, you can move your lips. If that's too hard, you can whisper it, right? And if whispering is too hard, then you can sound it out louder like this. K, ow, cow. Okay, but you should be able to look at the word, read it with your eyes. That means you can hear it in your head, and then you just say it. Town. Okay, next, eyes then mouth. Counting. Remember, ing. Break it right here between the t and the i. Counting. Counting. When you clap the syllables, you break it up between the n and the t. It would be counting. Next, eyes then mouth and mouse. Next, how, out, loud, brown. Okay, and remember, class, if I'm going too fast, just pause the video and then go back and then you read them again to your by yourself while you pause me. Then when you get down to the last word, then you can press play so we can continue. Okay, our next group of spelling words for the cow card are on this side, on the right side, this right column. So take a look at it, try to read it on your own. Did you say found? Very good. F, ow, found. ND, those are two consonants. You blend them and you say and. Found. Okay, you can say I found my toy underneath the bed. Now, listen carefully as I'm using these spelling words in sentences because for your Class Dojo X assignment, you're going to pick three of these words and use them in a sentence. Now, if you remember my sentence, you can just write it on your own. For example, if you like my sentence, I found my toy under the bed, then for your Class Dojo assignment, then you can just write that sentence. I found my toy under my bed. Okay? Uh, but I'm just saying the sentence. You'll need to write it, okay? But just keep in mind that you can copy my sentence if you like it. You'll just have to remember it. Okay, next. Owl. 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 Okay, the owl. Let's see. Oh, I know a fact about owls. Remember we read about an owl in the last Decodable we read? The owl is a nocturnal animal. That means it's up at night hunting. Okay, next. Round. 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 You can say the pie is round, or you can say the ball is round. Okay, and I hope you notice that found and round, they rhyme. What part rhymes? Did you say ound? Very good. Ound. Ound. That part rhymes. They sound alike and they're spelled the same right now. Sometimes words can sound alike, but they're not spelled the same, but these are. Okay, next. Okay, remember you're reading it on your own. Go ahead. Did you say crown? Very good. If you were having trouble, remember I said sound it out. K, r, blend. Cr, cr, ound. Oop, did I say crowned? No, crown. Crown. Okay, now, okay. And before I forget, let me see. One thing to keep in mind, some of you might have the sound spelling cards you might have it at home because some of you, I gave you a copy. What I can do is I can show it to you here and then you go back and you say, oh, what's that sound? That's the C. So it says k, k. So if you forget, just think of the sound spelling cards. Say, oh, C says k, so that when you have to blend it, you know that C says k, k. Okay, so always think of your sound spelling cards if you forget the sound. Okay, for example, SH, you should say, oh, that's the shoe card. You can remember it in your mind. They say, oh, I remember it was the shoe card. SH says shoe. Let me zoom in, right? Shoe. Okay, let's continue. Oh, where'd it go? There it is. Okay, out, shout. Oh, look, ed. Now, shouted. Did you say shouted? Okay, very good. Now notice that when I blend the sounds, shouted, I don't hear the T anymore. Look, shouted. So that happens sometimes. Sometimes you have to change the sound. We know that the base word says shout. And then ed, you can say ed, t, or d. What sounds right? Shouted, did. No, not D. Shouted. So ed here sounds like ed. Now, can it sound like a T? Let's see. Shouted. No. So here ed sounds like ed. Shouted. Okay, base word shout and then ed, shouted. Okay, next word, and go ahead and read it. Did you say house? Very good. The word is house. Okay, and finally, take a look at that word and go ahead and read it. Did you say down? Very good. Remember, if you're having trouble, sound it out. Down. Okay, and I hope you notice that crown and down rhyme. They have the same ending sound. Words that rhyme have the same ending sound. Okay, let's practice our reading fluency. Go back up and then read it together. And found, owl, round, crown, shouted, house, down. Now, I didn't use it in a sentence. I do want to use it in a sentence so that can help you write your sentences in your writing journal. For example, the word crown, you could say, the king and the queen wear their crowns. So I added an S, crowns. Okay, shouted. Let me see. I saw my friend in the park and I shouted his name. Okay, next. Okay, the word house. You can say right now we're staying in our house to stay safe from the coronavirus. House. Okay, next. Down. Okay, I wasn't careful and so I fell down. Down. So I don't want to forget to use these in a sentence because that will help you when you have to pick a word, a spelling word, to write 3 sentences today, okay? You can pick from here and from here. And don't worry, I'll come back and leave this so you can see it at the end of the video. Again, if I'm going too fast or if you want to read these again right now, go ahead and pause the video and then reread these on your own if I'm going too fast. If not, let's keep going. Okay, so let's see. Let's go ahead and read our new decodable. Okay, let me move this out of the way. And so here's our decodable. Take a look at the cover. Okay, I want you to browse the cover. Okay, tell yourself, what do you see? What do you notice? I'll give you a moment. Okay, and if you had the real decodable in your hands, you would turn the page and say, I see something here. And then maybe you can turn another page, right? So, we're browsing. Now, I hope you said to yourself, I see buildings, I see cars. Okay, this looks like a city. Well, maybe not a city because a city usually has tall buildings, and I see that these buildings are not that tall. So maybe it's a town, a little town. Oh, look, I hope you noticed that that says town, town. So maybe some of you read the title first. Let's read it together. In our town, in our town. So remember that I was browsing and I said to myself, this looks like a town, a little town. And look, my prediction was correct because I see the word town. So let me turn it. I see people. People are in the town catching the bus. Okay, and then this could be another picture of a town, and this town looks like it's next to a river. And here's a street in the town, and towns need to be cleaned up, right? So this makes sense. If you think this story is about a town and the people and the activity in it, I think you're right. So we're gonna read the decodable to learn more about this town, and we're going to practice the cow cart sound. Okay, OW says ow, OU, hour, hour. Okay, and then here are some words that have the ow sound. Repeat after me. Couch, crown, owl. Okay, and here are our new sight words or high frequency words. We also call them sight words. I'll be presenting these words in my next lesson, but we can preview them now. Repeat after me. Before. Okay, before, let's see. Before I leave the house, I put on my tennis shoes, right? Or you have to put on your tennis shoes, right? Or before I leave my Did I say town? I mean house. Before I leave my house, I put on my shoes. Okay, my walking shoes. Next, and done. Okay, when you finish watching the video and taking a picture of your sentences, then you'll be done for this activity. Done means finished, done. Okay, and you know what? I'll even say it in Spanish so that your parents can also uh, help. Well, also for your parents, if they want to know how to say it, because remember, it doesn't follow the rules. Let me see, does this one follow the. Well, you know what? I'm already talking about the high frequency word lesson. I'm going to do that for the next lesson, okay? But for now, done. Okay, next, repeat after me. Even. 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 You can sound that one out. Even. Okay, you can say everyone wanted to go, even my little brother. Okay, or you can say even meaning the same. Okay, we have an even amount of candies. He has two, I have two. Anyway, sight words, again, let's read them. Before, done, even. Okay, so um, we read the title again, In Our Town, by Ravi Anin. So this person is the author. He or she wrote the story. Title page again, In Our Town, by Ravi Anin. Okay, so let's go ahead and read this together. Again, if I'm going too fast, pause and then you can read, catch up with me and read. Okay, so here we go. And this is our town. A lot of people work in our town. Let's find out how things get done. Okay. Now, I just realized something. I need to make the cursor bigger. I don't know if you can see my cursor on your iPad or computer screen, so just in case, I'm gonna make it nice and big. Cursor supersized. Okay, again, this is our town. A lot of people work in our town. Let's find out how things get done. Okay, and go. It is even before dawn. This driver goes up and down the streets. Now they will be clean when people leave their houses. Okay, so again, our prediction that this is a story about a town or a city and all the things that people do in the activities that happen is correct. That's what we predicted. And we're practicing cow card. I see it here, and hour and town, ow. Okay, where else? Ow and down. Okay, and I see a lot of vowel sounds too, like streets and long vowel I, driver. Let's keep going. And take a look at the picture. That can help you figure out what you're going to be reading up here. One example, look, if you see a bus, then you might say, oh, I think I'm going to find the word bus when I read. And look, there it is, bus. It can help you read words. Sometimes you use picture clues to figure out what the word says. Okay, let's begin. And a crowd waits. Here is the bus bound for downtown. The driver smiles and asks, how are you today? Okay, now, I hope, well, maybe you know what it means, right? So here, let's go back. Here is the bus bound for downtown. Do you know what bound means? Did you ask yourself, like, what does that mean? Are you trying to clarify what that means? We can use context clues. Here is the bus bound for downtown. So this is a verb, it's an action word. So here's the bus. What can the bus do? Go to downtown? Do you think bound means to go? Let's see. Here is the bus going for or going to downtown. If you think that makes sense, then you're correct. We figured out what bound means. Bound means going to or headed for. Here is the bus headed for downtown. Or here is the bus going to downtown. So remember, class, that you can use context clues and picture clues and what you know clues to figure out unknown words. So let's read this page again now that we clarified what bound means. And go. A crowd waits. Here is the bus bound for downtown. The driver smiles and asks, "How are you today?" Now, I'm not reading it too fast because I want to make sure that we can try to read it together. Again, if I am going too fast, just pause the video and then read it the best you can on your own. Okay? And you can always play this video and turn off the sound or lower the volume so that you can read the pages quietly on your own. You can read it more than once, so then if you practice reading it, you'll sound like this. A crowd waits. Here is the bus bound for downtown. The driver smiles and asks, "How are you today?" Okay, and so that's one of our goals. In addition to practicing the cow card, we're also practicing our reading fluency. Okay, so I know we've been talking a lot, so let's think and let's make sure we don't forget what we're reading about. We're reading about a town. We learned that people take the bus to downtown in this little town. We learned that in this town they like to keep the streets clean. Okay, let's keep going. In winter, snow may pile up on the ground. Out comes the plow. The mounds get bigger. This mound is the biggest. And so you see a big mound. So now I hope you figured out that mound might be like a big pile of something. A bunch of something that's high is a mound. Okay? Maybe when you've seen in places when they're building, where they're constructing buildings, sometimes you see a mound of dirt. So we figured out what mound means. Okay? Again, well, no. In winter, snow may pile up on the ground. Snow can pile up on the ground. Maybe pile up means it bunches up on the ground, getting taller and taller. Let's see. In winter, snow may bunch up on the ground. So again, we use context clues to figure out what pile means and what mound means. That's what good readers do. Okay? Okay, and let's keep going. Dark clouds fill the sky. A mail carrier still makes her rounds. She brings mail from way up north and way down south. So she's the mail carrier. Okay, mail carrier. So you know, look, you see the mail. So mail carrier, I'm sure you figure out, is a person who carries the mail and delivers it. And next page, page 7, we can see in the picture, it's a firefighter truck. They're putting out a fire. So we might see the word firefighter, and that's a big word. Let's see if we see that word, and then we'll be able to figure out how to sound it out or say it. And clang, clang, clang. Here come the firefighters. There it is, firefighters. So that's a compound word. Two words put together that make up one word. Let me see if I can do something. No, I can't. I was going to try to highlight something. But you see the word fire and then fighters. You can break up a compound word into the two words, sound out one word. Maybe you saw fighters and then you say fire. Then you put it together. Firefighters. Okay, next. Turn on the spout. One of them shouts, "Wow, the fire is out." Okay, let's reread it for fluency and go. Clang, clang, clang. Here come the firefighters. Turn on the spout. One of them shouts, "Wow, the fire is out." Okay, and I hope you figured out that spout is the end of the hose where the water comes out. That's the spout. Next page. And finally, so we see, so if you're if you say that you see people who help or people who work in the town or in our community, like the firefighter, the mail carrier, okay, the bus driver, then you're right. These are people that work in our towns or cities. Let's read this page, last page, and go. We count on the people in our town. We are proud of them. They make our town a good place to live. And that's true. We need them to make our cities and towns a good place to live. Okay? And let's keep going. We have our spelling words with the cow card sound. So let's go ahead and read them. Okay, and bound, clouds, count. And let me see if I can make it bigger so that if you're looking at it on a small screen, you could see it better. And, oh, too big. Okay, again. Count, crowd, down, ground, houses, how, mound, now, hour, out, plow, proud, rounds, shouts, south, spout, town, wow. And our sight words: before, done, even. Thank you. Now, let's go back to our list of spelling words. Uh, Finally, I'm going to leave these spelling words here. You can use them in 3 sentences. You can pick some from this list or this list on the right or the list on the left. Pick 3 words, use them in a sentence, and then take a picture and send it to me on Class Dojo. Again, thank you for getting all the lessons in. I can see a lot of you are following the order. You're getting it done. Do as much as you can, and they'll be there waiting for you. But do keep working on them. Thank you. I'm very proud of you. Thank you so much. And I'll see and talk to you guys next time.